All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of We the People. I think we got it figured out now. Where we, the people, come for the truth. And the truth shall set them free. The Democrats, maybe. Huh? You never know. Hey, baby, it's on its way. But anyway, I got a couple episodes here for Bill Maher, and this is a new setting for me. I'm really trying this now, so I really hope it works out. Work with me. Leave me some comments down in the bottom if you think I need to do anything different. And I hope this works out well, guys. Anyway, hit that like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Help the channel to grow. We're doing well right now, but we're really trying to get the views up. I don't ask people for money. I'll never ask you for a dollar. But I will ask you to like and subscribe, and that helps us to get into the algorithm and to get the channel monetized. We already got a good amount of subscribers. We just got to get people to watch the videos. I really appreciate it. Now let's check this scene out here from Bill Maher and the Democrat Adam Schiff, and there's Stephen A. Smith, and I can't remember the other actor's name, Ted something, but he's got the show Ted. He's a Democrat. He admits it. But listen to what they say, and we're gonna break this down as we go along. Check it out.
Stephen A. Smith is over here. And he's a comedian, writer, and producer.
Stephen A. Smith. Thank you, Steve.
Seth MacFarlane is over here.
Yeah. Secret Agent Stephen Smith. Republican. Yeah, Adam Schiff. D. Schiff.
Here's what people want to know. What are the panel's thoughts on the jury awarding? Oh, this happened just before we went on the air.
All right, here we go. Check this out.
Jean Carroll, $83.3 million in damages in her suit against Donald Trump. Donald Trump. What do we think? Not good, right?
All right, now, first and foremost, let me say this about the E.G. Carroll case, right? Now, here's the thing. The E.G. Carroll case was significantly old, like 20 years old or something, and he was supposed to rape her in a clothing store in a dressing room or something like that. Have you... Now, excuse me, right, for saying this because I don't mean to be rude, but have you seen this woman? Have you seen the other bad broads like, what's her name? Stormy Daniels, compared to E. Jean Carroll? Are you shitting me? But it's comical, although the law is not comical. So even with all those years later, there's no evidence. You can't even store evidence that long. Let's say that he did have bust, right? They can't get that. That's gone. Even if they had evidence before, it's dried up. That evidence is no good no more. 20 years. You're telling me you preserve evidence for 20 years? I doubt it very seriously. But it's opening up things for, like, I live in Maryland, right? So right now they're telling kids that if you've been touched, come forward, you can get a lawsuit. But they're advertising it, right, as a quick way to get rich now, is that if you've been in the juvie hall in this time period, fill out the claim and you could get rich too. That's what these laws leave the door open for. Stuff like that. But it started with President Trump in the E. Jean Carroll case. And then here's the kicker. I believe it was the prosecutor that got prosecuted for the same thing right after he prosecuted Trump. Oh. Now let's hear this.
This was the suit that he got threatened to be thrown
Peckerhead.
out of, several times, right? Like, how toxic do you have to be where you're too rude to be on trial for sexual assault? Right? I think it's true justice.
No.
The
Go
only
back
thing he
up.
cares about is himself and money.
Damn it, bro.
And going after the money is a way to bring about some real justice. Do you think he did it? Yes, I do. You do? You think he raped her in Bergdorf Goodman? You think he raped her in Bergdorf Goodman?
I have no idea. Here's what I will tell you. It means absolutely nothing. Doesn't mean a damn thing.
Right.
And I get tired of people trying to act like it. First of all, the man is running for president of the United States, and part of the reason he's running for it is because he's getting those campaign dollars so he can pick up the money to pay for his legal bills. That's what he's going to do. No, he's not going to lose any money. Secondly, it ain't going to be $83.3 million. He'll appeal it. It'll get knocked down. And I'm just getting tired of seeing so much stuff targeted in his direction, but somehow, some way, he still survives. I mean, we're talking about a situation where he's still going to be the GOP nominee. He's still going.
Do you know why he still survives, Steve? You know why. You know why. He still survives because the truth stands on its own 2 feet. It needs no support. That's why Trump is president today. President Donald J. Trump. Because he needs no support. The truth stands on its own too. That's why they couldn't put him in prison. Do you understand? The man took a bullet. A bullet. I know all you fancy Republicans, right? Like I was a Democrat. I didn't vote for Trump in the first term. I didn't think President Trump was president material per se, right? Because that we were programmed to believe that a president was supposed to uphold a certain image. But the image means nothing if he don't do the real work. And the real work is for the people. We, the people. We have the voice. We got to say so. They work for us. You understand? They got the little Hollywood guy up here. It just goes to show when I put up my next clip, it's going to go to show why they want to fund Hollywood. Because if Hollywood people speak for that side, the people that watch those movies are going to naturally trust the Hollywood people. So they're going to vote that side too. It's optics, propaganda. When did it become okay to use propaganda on your own people? When did it become okay? I would like to introduce a bill into Congress, right? My bill states that Congress cannot, government officials, unless top secret, and then we got to have a standard for top secret, so they can't make everything top secret, right? The government can't lie to the American people, period. Period. Especially for political gain. They're doing a lot of the stuff they do would almost fall under treasonous acts. You are trying to subvert a U.S. president. Where did the respect for the office of the presidency go?
Going to be running for president. You're President Biden. That's the individual that you're going to have to beat. 4 indictments, 91 counts. They ain't even bringing up the bankruptcies. They ain't even bringing up this particular issue.
No need.
Civil case. And somehow, some way, he puts cats to shame because he clearly has more than 9 lives. I mean, come on.
You bring up the most perfect disparity between these two people. It's like he cares about himself, he cares about money, and you have Joe Biden, who put forth the Inflation Reduction Act, which contains climate provisions that are going to probably bear fruit long after he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Long after he's gone. Absolutely. What does he have to gain by that? Nothing.
What the hell did that have to do with anything? Joe Biden's, what was it? Something Reduction Act, Inflation Reduction Act, the Green New Deal, the Green New Scam, bub. That's all that was a scam. But good promotion. We appreciate you promoting lies to the American people. Ain't it funny that the people that's lying to us don't sit in the same struggling seats that we sit in? You can't compare into us, bro. You don't live like we do. I love when I see people say that. Us. Us, the middle class. You are not middle class. This guy here, Shifty Shift, they don't even make a class for him. Oh, well, they do. But you got to go deep in the sewer to find that.
Except, God forbid I use the word altruism. Well, look, I don't share your pessimism about this or your pessimism about the general election. The reason why Joe Biden is going to beat Donald Trump is because at the end of the day, America is going to want a president who is a decent human being, who doesn't shit on other people, who has some interest.
I was wiping my hands, not clapping.
Interest in something beyond himself. I think at the end of the day, people are going to reject this bigoted, divisive figure.
Same weak, tired talking points.
Want to put the country through they have every time except that one time. Yeah. No, really. I mean, he really lost every election except the 2016, and that, of course, he didn't really win that one either.
He didn't really win that? Election denier.
I don't know whether he did it, but I don't put anything past him.
Election denier. That should be treasonous, Bill Maher. That should be treasonous.
In which, not to say it's a cult, but has there been any point in history
we live in a cult
in which the same candidate has been put forth 3 times in a row, 3 elections in a row by the same party? 3 elections.
Normally, I would call the cult the people that are trying to convince the other people that don't believe what they believe a cult. You constantly try to say that mega is a cult, but yous are the ones that have infiltrated every system in the United States. And then yous are the ones who come out and tell us. We don't tell you that you're a cult. You come out and tell us that we're a cult because we believe Donald Trump and we don't believe what you believe. So because we don't believe what you believe, we're the cult. Make that make sense. I'm just saying.
That's a great question. 3 elections in a row.
Manipulation at its finest.
Who's the guy? Teddy Roosevelt. But I guess Franklin Roosevelt won 4 elections in a row. So there you go. Yeah, but given the circumstances, right? Well, there's always something going on in the country. Well, no, really, you can't do that. You can't be like, well, there's a war on. You have to stick with me. I mean, that doesn't work. It's a depression. Stick with me.
He lost the popular vote in both elections, but the bottom line is this. I respect the fact that you don't share my pessimism. I truly do. I understand where you're coming from. But I think that's part of the problem. I think the Democratic Party should share my pessimism. I think they should be on high alert. I think they need to
they should have been
the seriousness that it deserves, because you're having a lot of faith in the American people. The man did get over 74 million votes. You've got people that are looking at Joe Biden. I'm not going to call him a cognitive mess.
I will.
Like that. That's very disrespectful. I will never speak about our president that way.
But Bill's, you're right. You're right, Steve.
No longer spring chicken, and you don't seem to have the level of vibe and the energy that you want to have. And so you take that into consideration.
And I hear you, right? Because if I'm calling for others to respect the office of the presidency, what do I look like saying that about Joe Biden, right? However, we've been lied to for so long that at some point you just got to call a black cat, right? Just because it's got one white whisker don't mean it's not a black cat, right? So if the whole time you've been lying to us, we're just going to call it straight out now. We're not going to worry about the little minute detail. We're going to tell you straight up. He was a cognitive mess. He fell up steps. He was an embarrassment to the United States. He was an embarrassment to the office of the presidency. And that's his own fault because he didn't want to let it go. And they wouldn't let him let it go. Anthony Blinken, Jill Biden, Hunter Biden. You know, they didn't want to let that power go. Hunter, I understand, he was scared to death. His ass going to prison. Better hope he still don't. Because I know they're working on finding out what's up with this auto pen stuff. Right? So let's get back at this, right? Truth hurts. Truth needs no support.
Make no mistake, I'm taking this serious as a heart attack.
Okay.
Heart attack.
I'm optimistic, but we're going to have to fight tooth and nail. And one of the biggest obstacles we're going to have to overcome is all the efforts to prevent people from voting.
Prevent.
Okay. We're going to have to turn out our people. We're going to have to work like never before.
I want you to listen to the word he said, prevent, right? But watch his face because of how he said it, right?
You can't ignore the fact that this man is a threat.
Oh, make no mistake, I'm taking this serious as a heart attack.
Okay.
I'm optimistic, but we're going to have to fight tooth and nail. And one of the biggest obstacles we're going to have to overcome is all the efforts to prevent people from voting.
Prevent.
Okay.
Look,
we're gonna have to
you see his face? Oh, man.
Work like never before. We're going to have to work like
prevent.
Democracy is on the line.
Prevent people from voting. How do you prevent people from voting? Huh? Stuff the ballot boxes. Voter ID. You know, you don't have to have an ID to vote. You got to have an ID to drink. You got to have an ID to buy cigarettes. But to pick the most important person that runs our country, our executor in chief, our president of these United States of America, you don't need an ID. Anybody can just come vote. And you can say what you want, but before Trump was in office, nobody got locked up for voting if you shouldn't have voted. A couple people did this time, though. But, yeah. So, the problem is that you want to be shifty Schiff all the time. You want to lie, cheat, and steal.
Because it damn well is.
Right.
I take this as a heart attack. Let's interject one thing into this discussion about Trump that we've been having all night. It was a question I was going to ask you. We ran out of time. Sure. The Atlantic put out an article last year. It was called "Separating Sports by Sex Doesn't Make Sense," and talked about how we separate sports like the WNBA just because it's just socialization.
The actor's getting ready to piss me off. Watch.
I agree.
Okay. That's why people vote for Trump. Mm-hmm. Because there's stuff like that on the left that people just go, I know Trump's horrible, but separating sports by sex makes perfect sense. Mm-hmm. And if you think it doesn't, you can't leave the country. That's cutting off your nose to spite your face. I'm just giving you the answer to the question you're asking all night long. Why do they vote for Donald Trump? It's not always because they like him. No. It's because stuff like that is kookier. People, and there's lots of. It's kookier than trashing the Capitol. What the fuck?
Now, clearly this guy's drinking. He admits it. He needed to be drunk to do this. That's cutting your nose off to spite your face. Because as a father, I have a 9-year-old, two 21-year-olds, a 23-year-old, and a 25-year-old. My 25-year-old's got 4 children and 3 stepchildren. He's got his own little Brady Bunch. 3 are girls. 3, 4, 5 are girls. He's got 2 stepdaughters that are girls. He's got 2 twins that are girls. That just had a baby girl. She's just not even a month. Beautiful. But I'll be damned if you think it's okay for a man to be in the bathroom with my child, to be in the changing room with my child, to be in a locker room in the schools with my child. That is not okay, bro. What are you, one of these guys that were on the Epstein Island? Allegedly. Let me say allegedly. But that's what it sounds like to me. Perversion. When did it be okay for the left to be perverts? Huh? Why are you shooting so hard to get in our women's spaces? In prison, they allow men. They allow men to become women and serve in women detention. Hey, Google, right now in the United States, how many men have converted to women and serving in women prisons in the United States? Federal system as February 2025, the Federal Bureau of Prison housed 22 transgender women in federal women's prisons. Right? Uh, in California, as of May 2022, 1,115 biological males in the state's prison system identified as women. However, the number approved transfer to women's prison was much smaller, with an only 39 transfers approved out of 342. Okay, so here's my next question. Hey Gemini, them transgender women that are in women's prisons, how many of those women, how many of those men have raped women in those prisons? While this is understandable to have concerns about the safety, rather, transgender reporting victims of sexual assault from prison studies. No, 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 no. I want you to answer. I want to answer to that. Hey Gemini, I want to answer to the question that I asked, and the question that I ask is how many of the transgender women that were transferred to women's prisons have been charged with raping the women in those prisons? Oh, so you don't want to give me that answer, huh? There's a statistic for it. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Hey Gemini. Hey Gemini, how many women have been sexually assaulted in the United States in prison by transgender women? Bro, I'm gonna have to find this. I'm gonna find data on this, and I'm gonna make another video of this. I'm not gonna waste all my time doing this because I only got a couple more minutes. But I will find out the information because there's a lot of assaults that have happened in women's prisons by men that have identified as women, and it's also happening out on the streets. All right, so that's one big thing that I got a problem with.
Think, in a way it is. It's apples and oranges. It's apples and oranges. One is more evil, one's more horrible. But thinking that, I mean, what would happen if we combined the WNBA and the NBA?
What wrong with it? Go from averaging 25 to averaging 70. Democrats have the team. I mean, you mix it up, and he held the ball and create the mismatch and take advantage of the mismatch.
You're both right, and it's I'm gonna tell you something. Like I when you donate to the Democratic Party, which I have, you get to do certain things, and I got to.
I didn't even get a thank you.
Listen to this.
I gave him $1 million twice.
Listen to what he admits to.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I got on a Zoom with Biden for like 10 minutes. Oh, you can talk to Biden for 10 minutes alone. Like, okay, great. Wow.
That was AI Biden.
He got to talk to Biden for 10 minutes for giving his money up. Good job, bud. Coward.
Yeah. Trust me, it wasn't AI Biden. But what I took away from that was that, this guy is not the world's greatest public speaker.
You don't say.
Why people like Lindsey Graham are defending him and saying, like, if you don't like Joe Biden, there's something wrong with you, but you can look at.
Hey, Gemini, did Lindsey Graham ever say if you don't like Joe Biden, there's something wrong with you? Okay, so fact check, right? Gemini says, well, you know what? I don't, Gemini and Google, I don't really trust as a fact checker at all. But we can go to, man, we're ticking down on time, y'all. We're ticking down on time. Let me see if I can get Rock out real quick and ask him. I gotta get the Android app. I'm gonna ask Grok. Hey Grok, has Lindsey Graham ever said that if you didn't like Joe Biden, there's something wrong with you? Yes, Lindsey Graham has expressed high praise of Joe Biden in the past. All right, good thing Lindsey Graham's getting out of there soon, huh? What do you think?
Get up. He did say, I'm paraphrasing because I've had 100 drinks, but
100 drinks.
He did.
You heard it yourself.
If you don't like Joe Biden as a person, there's something wrong with you.
Guys, thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button.
There's a flip side. And here's the flip
I
side.
really appreciate
You
you.
can like Joe Biden, but hate Capitol Hill. As it has been for so many years. When you look at people, think about Trump. You ever watch Trump debate? This is why I was joking around and said I challenge him to debate. What would I have to worry about? He doesn't say anything. He goes up against Democrats. It's going to be very, very good. It's going to be fabulous. But they watch. He hasn't said anything, right? And nobody on the Democratic side has, what is it? The pizzazz. I know you got the substance, but you got a lot of people out there that are preoccupied with their own lives, and they want somebody that knows how to ingratiate.
That's what in debates is called a gish gallop. It's called a gish gallop.
I understand.
It's when you disseminate so much bullshit. You're like,
See how he tries to overtalk him?
Just fucking dumped on. If you think Trump doesn't say anything, shit, you should say.
All right, so I'm going to leave you with that, right? And I just want to say thank you guys for watching. Hit that subscribe button and make sure that if you live in California, you don't vote for Adam Schiff. We don't want to vote for Jamie Raskins, Adam Schiff, AOC, Bernie Sanders. They're all communists, and they all want to destroy our country. So if you have the chance to vote when their time comes to vote, make sure you vote for the Republican, the other person. Do not vote for those people. I'm a strong advocate for that. Please hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys very much for watching. I love y'all, man, and I'm going to see y'all in the next one. And don't forget, we the people deserve the truth. And if you want the truth, I'll see you next time. I'm out.